This is an Astra A80 45. I think I may have touched on this in another video here a while back, but I got this gun out today. I went to the range to test a couple of new Glocks I picked up, and I brought this one with me. This gun's one of the few guns that I like well enough that, I've kept it a long time, and I've had a lot of Astra and Star products over the years. Both of them are Spanish made. This gun's a little bit older style gun. This one's a European gun, so it has a heel clip mag release, which a lot of people are not very fond of. Another oddball thing about it is that the slide release is behind the decocker, which the decocker is actually in the front. I believe SIG has that characteristic as well on some of their guns. I think that's another definite European thing. Also, this gun is a double action. I'm going to check that one more time just to make sure. This gun is a double action first pull, and then after that it goes into single action. That's another thing that's kind of starting to be a thing of the past. There's still a few around like that, but more and more of the guns now have a consistent trigger pull all the way through. The reason that I'm talking about this gun is not really so much about the gun or the review. It's just some thoughts I have on guns that you can pick up at the at the pawn shops and the gun shops that are trade-ins. I'm going to go shoot it, and then I'm going to come back and give you a couple thoughts about what I think about some of the bargains that are running around out there. I'm going to try the Astra 45 on the other target and see how it does. This is one of my favorite guns, although it's probably, in today's standards, not one of the greatest guns to bank your life on. But anyway, I like it. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to go ahead and cock the first one, put it into just a single action mode, just try to not have a big old flyer on the first shot. Okay, that's actually a pretty decent group. That's 9 shots smattered around in there. So for a old gun that was built years ago and that I don't shoot much, I mean, I think that's pretty good. So anyway, like I said, that's one of my favorites. I just think it's an attractive gun. I love the style of it. It's a 9-shot 45. Double action, single action, like the older guns back in the 70s and 80s were. But like I say, that's kind of indicative of the guns you can find in gun shops and pawn shops if you're willing to look around and keep an open mind. I mean, that's clearly plenty reliable and plenty accurate for any kind of self-defense work. As you can see today, that old Astra is a good shooter. It's really incredible what you can find. The reason that I'm doing another video on this gun, because I think I did one here a while back, is not so much to push the Astra A80, although I think it is a tremendous gun. It's to kind of let you know that, if you don't have a lot of money, you don't have to do without or get out a credit card and buy a $600 gun. Do a little research. There are a ton of older firearms on the market. I believe this gun at one time or another was used in some police and military applications. I mean, it's a high quality firearm. I bought this gun, I believe I paid $250 for it. And I still see them all the time at the gun shows for between $250 and $300, and that's usually with a couple of magazines and usually in a good caliber, either 45 or 9. To get into a full-size, high-quality gun for $250, that's hard. I mean, unless you find a buddy that's broke or something. But if you expand your thinking just a little bit and get away from and I like Glocks, I like SIG, I like I love the Taurus stuff. I like, you know, Beretta. I mean, Smith & Wesson. I like all of that stuff, Springfield Armory. But you're not going to get into one of their full-size, you know, double stack, nice 45s for 250 bucks. But there are a lot of Stars, there are a lot of Astras, there are a lot of the old Llama stuff, some of the older Taurus stuff. Don't write that stuff off. It's gotten to where it's not fashionable anymore. People want newer, they want polymer, they want lighter, they want the consistent striker fired or at least, you know, double action all the time, you know, something where the triggers are more consistent. The old double singles kind of going away a little bit because people like the same trigger pull all the time, which is understandable. More and more of the guns are getting away from safeties and decockers and going to more of the Glock style striker fire with the safe trigger. But anyway, like I say, just take a look around, because I am 100% confident that if I put this gun in my pawn shop to sell it, I'd market it probably around 300 bucks. And that's a heck of a gun for a $300 gun. Now, I happen to like this one. I'm not going to get rid of it. But like I say, I went to the gun show today and I saw several of these on people's tables all around $300. So, like I say, just keep that in mind that, you know, if you don't want, which I think a High Point's a pretty good gun for the money, but if you don't want a High Point, and, you know, I'm not so much of a fan of some of the other inexpensive guns, take a look at some of these older 70s and 80s era guns that are bouncing around now, that are kind of the orphans of the gun world. People don't want them, and you know, everybody's wanting something new, and these things are sitting on the tables collecting dust. And if you see one that's close to the price you want, don't be scared of it. Like I say, is it the best gun? No, but as you saw today, this thing's a pretty good shooter, and it's very reliable at feeding ammo. It'll feed critical defense. It feeds several brands of hollow points. You know, it just doesn't give me much problems, and I truthfully am not a super maintenance freak. I mean, I don't clean my guns every trip back from the range, and I'm a little stingy with the oil sometimes just because I forget. So, like I say, take a good look at this, and you know, take a look at some of the other, like I say earlier, some of the old P-series Rugers, the P85s, the P90s, the things like that. They're starting to show up now pretty cheap, and I mean, those are pretty good guns. So anyway, that's all I was going to say about this one. Like I say, just I wanted to get some videos up, and I'm going to try to get some more, try to find some cool stuff from my shop to start bringing out there and shooting. Try to see if I can't get some videos going again. But let me know if there's something that you're interested in seeing, or if you got a question about something. And if I can get my hands on one, I'll either shoot it or at least try to give you an answer if it's about something I already own. Thanks a lot.